All right, in the new server, but it looks like the players are not. So,
Well, there's a delay and they
yeah,
still have to
that
connect.
that too.
I saw that sly, oh, this video is not formatted correctly,
I don't
drag out.
know what you're talking about. No, but yeah, I did get a newer, bigger monitor, so my resolutions are off, and I forgot to adjust that scene. So,
I see, I see. These players telling me that they're going live now.
all right, so yeah, we should be going. This should be going underway within the next 2 minutes. So yeah, have a prediction here from Durdub. Kurt Rambis greater than going live 16-9. Heard it here first.
16-9. Well, Train is one of those maps that has lopsided scores, and it doesn't mean that the players were not matched up evenly. It's the way the map kind of plays out. There's a lot of snowball on this. The economy is more of a factor here than it is on other maps, and 16-9 is actually a closer score than some may initially perceive.
I just want to point out he went one lower than my prediction. So
What was your official prediction again?
I'm going 16-10 Kurt Rambis fan club.
Mm.
Just because they proven themselves against Xerxes on this map, so they obviously know what they got to do. They have their strats, their smoke setups on T side, and
Correct me if I'm wrong. Kurt
yeah,
Rambis is the higher seed here.
no, going live is the higher seed.
Yes. Okay, going live is the higher seed, and they must be pretty close because I feel like they were both middle of the pack in terms of seeding.
Yes, yeah, they were. Kurt Rambis was number one, but then they started playing the they started collecting a few losses here and there towards the end of the season. And also,
Remember,
as they said, going live isn't fielding their starters here. So
ooh, well, that could be a factor here. Coordination on train is an absolute must, and without your starters, the people who put in the most practice time, you're going to have a bad time. So we'll be live in just a second. I have to tell you, Clay, my prediction, because I am a bit of a homer for great games, I'm just going to straight up call it 16-14
all right.
for KRFC.
In the last 2 hours, 109 gifts were given by. No one gave me any gifts. What's up with that?
You are watching CEVO TV. I'm still Cotton. He's still Klops. We are in the playoffs. This is Season 3. This is Main. And you are watching Kurt Rambis Fan Club face off against Going Live on DE Train. This is the round of 8. Finally, all teams are in the field. And we are, wait for the freeze time, live. Let's pull up the overhead map once this gets underway, show them a bit about what the splits are looking like. Remember, we are probably looking for a 4-1 split for the CT side unless we have some sort of exotic look. And what we have thus far for the Ts is a 5-man sprint through the White Halls. They'll run up through the bathroom, come out, and maybe challenge the ladder. No, it's going to be a B push. It's a 2-1-2, an old school look for DE Train, and this may be to the detriment of the Ts. They may not be expecting a full CT hold here. That early rotate will have 3 CTs in the site before the bomb's even planted. This is a good look for them. Now it's an even exchange, and it's all down to gunfighting. Goldie lands the first one. Carl will go down, gushed, as he tried to cross in front of that Glock there. Another kill for the CTs, and this early rotate may have done the job for them. Colin stuck behind the hot dog or the great train, waiting in front of the bomb, does his best to hold off all the CTs, but now leaves Crosby on his own. Crosby, if he can just land that kill and retreat, will delay the defuse just long enough. He got one pursuer, and if Crosby holds on, he can get a 3 clutch. He's got it. He's got the first round wrapped up, and you can call him MVP. 3 kills. He did it perfectly.
You definitely can call him MVP for that round, and maybe even going into this match, because we know how important the first round on train is for the terrorists. You want to get that early money advantage and roll it into another two wins, because I mean it is very hard to get rounds T side. But yeah, I honestly didn't think that was going to go in favor of Kurt Rambis fan club. You know, we had the 2 CTs stacked on inner for the first round, and I thought that was actually going to work out in Going Live's favor.
It could, it will, it did. By the way, just because I don't need to be a party pooper for the entire game, I need to warn you guys, if you do know information about subsequent rounds because you have future knowledge of what's going on, please don't share it with the stream. We will have to silence you if that becomes a problem. Colin gets charged. Doesn't matter. Mows down 2. 2 left for the CTs, and they're looking for a kill to at least force a rebuy. They get the first one on Crucify, but if they don't get more than one, it will be pretty much a failure of a round, and that can't be the way you start on a CT side where you should have an advantage. You know what, Clay? What's really disappointing is that they called the perfect play, and Kurt Rambis totally negated it with just great single individual play.
Yeah, well, and the thing about that was that they did stack two CTs in that site, but they didn't actually get any early kills. I mean, the Kurt Rambis fan club, they all got into the site without dying. They took a little bit damage, sure, but they got in the site and they were able to get the bomb down. So I think that was attributed to the nades that they used. You know, they did that usual smoke we see on the lower ramp, and then as they came into the site, they had people throwing flashes at the usual spots where the CTs play, so that helped them out quite a bit.
It does. Now tell me, because we're in, oh, never mind, some carnage going down. I won't even have to say the actual strategy here because you can't do much with only 2 CTs remaining. Goldie goes down by the fence. He leaves Sparks by himself with his stat track Dark Water. Bomb gets planted. That's a successful round because you forced rebuy, but the T's get the plant. I was going to ask you, Clay, how you manufacture some kills, but never really got the chance to.
Yeah, and you know, we'll just talk about it since we might as well. I mean, they could have done an aggressive, you know, 5-man push at one of the points to try to, you know, maybe force a couple kills, pick up some guns, and then roll those guns into some more kills. But they didn't. They just tried to play their normal spots, and it didn't really work out for them because, you know, the range advantage that T's had. Huh?
Let me ask you, because this is a relevant talk. Whoa, we have a set piece here. Take a look at this. Carl and Redmains are setting up for a definite set piece. Redmains and Carl had some locations where they wanted to put their crosshairs to throw them smokes, but I think they've called it off. They've let Colin, their opera, set up to stare down the left lane. Not full vision of the alley, but definitely a set piece here. We're going to see where these smokes are intended for. They can only, at those locations, really be for the center trains, the bomb train, and the Z connector. We'll see. If they intend to cross over the middle, this could be very difficult for the CTs to counter. A smoke in the eyes of the Ts as they use flashes to get out. Carl steps out of the door, sees no one. They stare up toward the CT heaven and the T side heaven looking for opponents, but these smokes are doing a great job of soloing their opponents off, siphoning their opponents off. Going live, Sparks is stuck in deep bottom. He blasts Redmains as he even knew his position, came in pre-firing, and won that battle. There is a touchdown nade. Goldie eliminates his own teammate after thinking he was dead. 4 left for 3 left. Colin lands a great shot. 3 left for the CTs. And this bomb defuse looks like it will be a success unless Colin can do something about it. He brings down Goldie and another. That's a one-on-one for Natural, and Colin. Natural needs to defuse this, and he's going to have to do it with his back turned to the Opera. This is going to be extremely difficult. He'll go for it. Colin needs to stop the defuse. There's the shot in the back, and Colin has a quad.
That was a huge play by Colin right there. He did die, he lost his op, but I mean, he did get the win, so that's going to force the CTs in another save here. And those smokes, there were some good smokes. What happened where they landed was at the CT connector and also the CT alleyway over by Ivy. So it blocked off 2 major key points where a CT would be playing. So it gave the terrorists some good entries into the outer area. But, you know, that round, it did look like it was turning towards the CT favor because CTs played it well. They waited patiently in their positions, and we're missing some kills here, but with some friendly fire. But actually, that's actually an eco kill, and that should be able to get a gun for the CTs.
Yeah, we actually had a TK on the CT side, but Going Live actually shot better than the terrorist side, the KRFC side last round. Thanks to the coordination and the individual effort of Colin, we saved that round. We, being the terrorists, saved that round for ourselves, where they probably should have lost it. It's down to a 2-on-2. Natural and BDAM have a chance to search out the map to find some weapons, but because of their locations check at the Hell position and the Z connector, they may not be able to. BDAM had the chance. He absolutely had all the license in the world to bring down the bomb planter, and he missed his shots. Those last 2 kills were errors. They had the drop on both T's.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Did you see that nice flash from the ladder room by the terrorists, by the way? They did the air flash, which, you know, how you bounce it off the wall and it drops and then detonates in the air. So as a CT, if you're in the ladder and you can't dodge it. And they ended up picking up 3 kills from that flash. So, I mean, that was a really big play by Kurt Rambis fan club right there.
Now, I got to tell you, Clay, 5 rounds on T side. Do we just pack it in and call it a day? Because it feels pretty good.
Yeah, you're definitely feeling really good with 5 rounds on T side. But no, I wouldn't pack it in just yet. I mean, at this point, you know, Going Live really has to pretty much do a shutout. I mean, allowing any more rounds is not going to be good for them.
Right, and they have a chance to do that here. A double op look. Goldie and I Cry for 10 Pings have ops. They are playing in the 3 slot, that's the top of the inner, and the 4-man slot, that's the alley. Pretty textbook positions to field ops, but it is going to be a very difficult thing to hold on to them because it looks like we're going to have a stacked rush at inner. As soon as one op goes down, the one that's rotating is on the far side of the map. Here comes the commitment. Colin looks like a lurk, throws a flash out to Z, steps out, tries to challenge. the CT Opera and loses that battle. A cry for 10 pings gets the better of him. Going Live's Natural may pick up a double while sitting on top of the bomb train. He absolutely does. And this is a great start for the CTs. Here comes the rotate. Caught out in space. BDAM sprays, brings down Carl. Crucified trays him, and Goldie cleans it up. There you go. You're on the board.
That was that was a good job by the Opera over and outer. I think that was iCry for 10 pings, picking Colin a little slow. I mean, we saw it from iCry's perspective, and you saw Colin actually like come out, and there was literally like a 1 second pause before anyone shot. So a little bit slow reaction time by both players, but iCry comes out with that. And I thought that was actually going to be a dangerous round for the CTs because they were playing 2 people inner and not the 4-1 setup. And it was actually a round where Kurt Rambis went for the stack on outer. So.
We have a fast sprint here to the inner bomb site, a thrown smoke to no doubt blind the Z connector. Everybody's out. The CTs will have to do their best to stop. VDAM's out in space and alone. He's charging the smoke, making the aggressive play where you didn't think he would, and Carl did not notice. He sees him on the left side of the gray train, picks him up. It's a 1-1 trade. Thus far, surprisingly few deaths considering how aggressive this play is. 2 down for the T's. Goldie hits one in the middle of the bomb train. Carl, Colin, and Redmane's left, all fighting out of position, not able to connect with their teammates. They're going to all need to make individual plays, and it's down to the man who's already been clutch in this game. Colin is facing a 1-on-2. Will he pull it off again? Well, he'll have to fire through smoke to pull it off. We'll go to our number 9 man now. He has no idea if the bomb's being defused. He took a blind shot while moving, and his feet were not set. So he loses that round, but he preserves the op.
Which is good. I mean, that was really just a good heads-up play by the counter-terrorists right there. I don't know. I couldn't tell if they had someone up close listening for the sound cue or if they just called the early rotates right when they saw the smoke come down from inner. But those rotates came immediately, and I mean, in that round it was good, and it's what they needed to do. But I mean, if they keep doing that and keep calling for the early rotates, that could really be a bad thing later on.
If you are playing this match yourself, Clay, how fast you identify the early rotates, because that's something that people tend to take advantage of on a map like Train.
Yeah, it's tough. You just got to get a feel of what the players are actually doing, and I mean, Kurt Rambis Fan Club hasn't actually put too much emphasis on inner so far, so I mean, calling it that quick, it could be dangerous. But we just saw some nice kills go down from that was Natural, I believe, on the bomb train. He just picked up 2, and yeah, they just finish it up right there, going live, picking up another one. And Kurt Rambis Fan Club seems to be losing some of their steam right now.
They are able to buy, however, they did save that round, and that though they lost an op, the rest of them now are able to, they still have an op. The rest of them are all able to field weapons. That early breakneck, torrid pace by KRFC now literally halted, just 100% halted by Going Live, who have put their foot down. Now it's a matter of who will push the ball back into the respective courts here. They really, really need to stack up some rounds. The counter-terrorists Going Live, and they seem to know it. They're playing the traditional 4-1, but they have an aggressive rotate that we've seen before. Now it's up to us. Oh, a leg shot there. Natural decided to be cheeky and push toward the ladder room near the ladder train. Gets shot in the ankle for his aggression. That's a good analytical play, a nice double check there to see if anybody was down there. Clay, we got a pretty amorphous look for the T's. They're kind of looking for a push. I don't know why this is their plan. They haven't ever seen Going Live really do anything aggressive yet.
No, but I mean, they've been playing quite aggressively themselves, so I think they decided to just take it down, slow it down a little bit. I mean, Going Live got the last 3 rounds, so they're probably just going to try and change the pace up on them a little bit here.
Right, changing the pace could give you more options, could make people rotate out of position. It could open up many avenues, as you suggested. Crosby spraying down Goldie, who was just above him on top of that ladder train. It's a 3-on-2. Natural and BDM just barely hanging on. It's pretty close. It's 40 seconds left. No bomb in the T's possession. In fact, that bomb is sitting out in the middle of nowhere, and the CTs have great position on it, so we're going to have to see a forced save unless somebody can guess
Crosby.
How much.
He's doing a flank here.
Absolutely. I'm already on Crosby. He's got shots on BDAM, but he came walking around that corner. It's important to release that walk key, that shift key as you turn that corner for the quick peek so you can accelerate as fast as possible. He just learned why. Oh, Colin guessed wrong. If he had just turned the corner looking forward, he would have found Natural there. Clay, I want to point out that I've seen Natural in that CT hell position probably, I want to say 85% of the time now. It's going to be very dangerous for him to continue to play that place.
I've also seen him playing actually on the bomb train too, which he's pretty much going between those two spots. But yeah, like you said, if he just keeps playing those static positions, they should be able to identify him pretty quickly and just start pre-firing him. So he needs to start changing it up a little bit here as they progress into these rounds.
We will see what their thought process is. Redmains charges down the stairs and destroys the defender. BDAM had 1-to-1 M4 to P250 and lost that fight. That's got to be so infuriating. It's a 1-round difference right now, and it's a save round for the terrorist side, so they should not win this one. But with a bomb plant, they have the leverage to win this. Sparks saw that cheeky hide by Crosby. There is no place for his creativity, not when everybody's being as careful as they are, Clay. Tell me a little bit about how zoned in you are in a playoff game, how much different it can be from a regular season game.
Oh man, it's been a little while since I've been in a playoff game myself, but yeah, you know, I mean I remember it. It's pretty intense. I know you're definitely trying your hardest. I know the favorite in going live's perspective here, you know, they have 2 subs coming in and beat him. Actually just said in chat, I wish I played once within the last month. So I don't think they expected to come in, but I'm sure they're just zoned in like you said here. And you saw Carl just mark a smoke spot for one of his teammates right there on the ground.
Yeah, he was probably saying, this is the spot we want, somebody stand here. It's probably occurred to BDAM that everybody just saw me lose a one-on-one fight to a P250 with my M4, so I'm going to try to save some face here. Oh, we have an aggressive push here. Goldie moving up through the brown hall into the white hall. He's going to be looking up at the staircase in a moment. We should stay. Oh, there's the op battle. Double op kill. 2 entries are both op kills, not AK kills here. Something tells me about this, Clay. If you are regularly hitting entry shots with oppers, you're probably playing some risky positions as a counter-terrorist. We'll have to diagnose how to change that in a moment. BDAM's the last one. He can get a 2 kill there. He's going to work on his 3rd, but he's kind of trapped up in that space. If people just nade him out, he's probably done for the round. He's down to 32 health. It's a 1-on-2. If he lands, oh, piercing shot brings him down. BDAM down. They're down by 1. We've lost Clay. Oh no. I'll cast on without him.
Hello.
Hey, your sound's working again. Welcome back.
Yeah, I muted my mic for a second because I was going to cough. But yeah, I was going to comment on the fact that you mentioned the entry kills with the ops and the CT positioning for that. We saw one come from Crosby and one come from Colin. Crosby's was from the alleyway, which it's not too too different for a CT to be peeking alleyway, but usually you have a CT with an op peeking, so you have an op battle going. And I mean, if they do find themselves getting picked there constantly, then of course CTs could just play back more towards the trains and play a more passive approach to that spot. As far as mid, if you're getting picked there, then obviously you could either smoke the T connector or just play it in a more hidden spot or more passively in the connector as well.
Now, we've seen Going Live make 2 pretty aggressive pushes that were met with some success, except for the last round. This is something that we hadn't characterized them with before, and it's probably because we haven't had enough time with them to really learn all of their tendencies, but it's starting to take a toll a little bit on a few of the entry setups for KRFC, and they are purposely setting up to stop the pushes, but they're losing those battles. We'll get to that in a second. Goldie backpedals while Colin steps out. Bad timing for him. He loses his life and is eliminated from the round. 3 CTs in the site, 1 on the fast bathroom. Crucify steps up to the bomb train, will spray, loses his fight. BDAM cleans him up, and Sparks follows up with another kill. It's 3-on-2. It's 3-on-1. Colin, who's been in this position before, now has to no-scope. He can't do it. That's a headshot cleaned up, and it's going to be 6-6.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good play, once again, by the counter-terrorists. They got that early kill on the Redmains, and then, once they had that man advantage, they decided to go back to the old setup of 2 people inner and 3 people outer, and it worked out for him. I mean, Goldie did get caught out there. I think someone gave him the sound cue that they were going upper inner, and he kind of got nervous because he was standing on the railing, and he was trying to adjust, and it just happened at an inconvenient time for him.
Right, so I gotta ask you, I want to know the heat maps and the statistical history of the new DE train. Train more and more seems like an even map to me, and it might be partially due to the fact that this raised platform in the Brown Hall has been added to this game. I'd like to know the correlation from where those additions were added to when these statistics may have changed. Here comes a couple of entry smokes and flashes for Inner. They're planting the bomb, and they may successfully do... Oh, Crucify decapitates BDAM, who happens to be the unfortunate recipient of many highlight plays this particular game. 4 Ts left. They all have pistols. Oh, there's the no-scope! Crosby gets his just desserts. It's down to a 3-on-3. Natural will find 2. He jumps and brings them down while AD-ADing. That's got to be disappointing if you're a T. Carl's the last one left. It's an eco round, Clay. 2 rebuys and a there we go. 2 rebuys and a bomb planted. Seems like a pretty good eco.
Yeah, exactly. The bomb plant especially is going to give them enough money to buy, especially with nades. If you look at the cash, Crosby and Redmains are the people with the lowest amount of money before they bought, and they were at about 5K, so they should have plenty of money to buy and get their full set of nades so they could get their strats going how they want them to.
So you're winding down the half. Who needs these rounds more? How do you secure those rounds?
Who needs them more? Obviously, they both, I think they need them equally the same. The terrorists, I think the CTs at this point probably need them a little bit more. Terrorists, you're obviously looking for those extra rounds on nuke, but the CTs at this point, they've allowed 6, and if they allow any more, then it's not going to be looking good for a second half. But they pretty much have to win the first round, next round, if they allow any more here, obviously.
Terrorists back are up against the wall here. To take a look at the tab screen for me, there's not a whole lot of cash on their side, so they'll have to make this round count. Otherwise, they'll be fighting with relatively nothing, ecoing before they head into the last round. There's the bomb train aggressor. BDAM outside this time gets taken down. 2 successful entries with 2 trades, 3 actually to 2 trades, and now we're down to a 3-on-1. I try for 10 pings. The number 4 man is back by the Ivy. He's got a ninja clutch mission on his hands, but with an op, it's going to be exceptionally difficult. He's got an opponent at CT Heaven, T Hell, and T Connector. I don't even think he'll... Oh, he's thinking about it. We'll check the cash reserves here. Let's see. He's got 6,000 to work with. He can certainly buy the other time around, but I think for the most part, if you're coaching on this particular match, Clay, you're going to say, save that thing, we'll fight another day.
Yeah, I agree with that. Going to last round, you want to save the op and then be able to buy someone on your team a gun, maybe even 2, since we'll see. He's at 6K, but yeah, and if you look at the money of everyone else, they're not looking too hot in terms of cash, so they're going to need help with buying here on this round.
I'm particularly impressed with the number of entry utility nades here. This is something that really marks the difference between intermediate level play and higher tiers of play. Good smoke locations, good flash locations, good understanding of where flashes detonate. It's making a difference for the Ts. It's obviously making a difference because they've put up 7 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. And there's another kill for Cry with 10 pings versus Colin, and that could be detrimental for the terrorists here on this round.
All right, we've got a creeper moving through the smoke. Actually, Crosby has just straight up stopped in the smoke. He's waiting for that to disappear, and that could be deadly because his feet will be exposed when he's done. Got a pusher who falls back. It's a 3-2 hold. Now it's it's still a 3-2 hold. Redmains, who came out of the ladder, gets blasted. Natural will remove him from the field. So that's 2 down, and we haven't even seen an attempted entry from the Ts. That's not a way to start, and certainly not a way to finish the half. Here comes the attempt, however. BDAM is blind, has to fight and hope that he's not killed while he's blind. Crucify sees him, lets him go. There's really no opportunity for them to plant the bomb. The CTs are swarming now, and this one's just about over. Crosby has to get an ace to even clutch this, and he's literally surrounded. Nobody knows where he is, though. Not yet. There's the kill. 8-7. Right at the end, Clay, they finally take the lead, and it's a sigh of relief, but it's also a tentative anxiety sort of sigh. Like,
yeah, it's a sigh thinking, oh, okay, we got to go into this next half, and we have to win the pistol round and the next 2 after that if we want to get back into this and take the T side.
Yep, we've got a second half coming up for you right now. We'll be back after the commercial break. Remember, turn off your ad block so we can help build up this channel. We would really appreciate it. See you in a second.
All right, well, that commercial should be over, and we are well into the pistol round here. As we see, Kurt Rambis fan club came away with the victory there with only Crucify left, actually, and the terrorists did get the bomb down, so that was a close one. But, yeah, Kurt Rambis fan club managed to close that one out, and that is not going to be looking good for going live here.
Yeah, not at all. Sorry that we missed a little bit of playtime. A commercial probably isn't the best idea for short breaks like that, because I don't like missing pistol rounds.
We'll adjust later.
Lesson learned. FAMAS is on the field. A couple of SMGs. Good ideas to upgrade to the rifle tier here, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, definitely going for the third round. I don't think the terrorists would have been buying this round, but maybe on the next round, yes. So it's good either way, though. They want to solidify that they have the advantage.
Here comes the first kill of the round. Crucify brings down Sparks. I cry for 10. There's a lot of oh my god. I didn't even say a single name after that first one. All of them died immediately. There's a lead taken by Kurt Rambis fan club, +1 on the CT side. Now you may get one other, but remember, this is the surprise buy that no one's ever surprised by anymore. It's going to be a third round buy for the terrorist side. Their economy is always cheaper. They're going to have AKs. If you're the CTs, you've got to be prepared for this, but Clay, something about their weapon loadout right now tells me that they were not really anticipating this.
Yeah, that's why I was a little bit skeptical about buying the FAMASes on the second round, because if you do that, I think your money is spent, and then you can't upgrade to the rifle tier on the third round, knowing that the terrorists did get a bomb plant and have the money to buy AKs on the third round. So this could be costly for them.
Gorgeous FAMAS. The pulse right there is
all these new skins are so awesome. It makes me so jealous that we don't get to play as much and collect these things.
Well, you are always welcome, viewers, to give us gifts. We will accept them graciously. Here's a set smoke. Carl knows that it's coming down, meaning that there's somebody probably above him. He smartly throws a nade to assist himself while spraying through the smoke. It's a one trade thus far. Goldie gets taken out by the touchdown nade, too, already. You know what? The T's had guns for days, better weapons, better nades, and they just got mowed. They got absolutely pinched with a flanker, with a Z flanker, with a bathroom flanker, and the people inside, they just did not even stand a chance.
Yeah, now the CTs don't need to upgrade next round because they all got AKs, except for Carl, who obviously died and he needs to rebuy. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that was kind of a weak strat for a third round surprise buy to try to go inner. I mean, you have the AK, so I think you got the range advantage outer, and you got the smoke. So if you would have just thrown the smokes correctly outer, I think it would have been a better try than trying to force the. Than trying to force it through the small inner entries.
Goldie absolutely just ruins I Cry for 10 pings round. He stabs him in the back right out of the break. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Clay. With the ability to one-tap at any distance with an AK, you would have thought they would have challenged outer, but here comes the spray. Crosby has a triple. He's mowing down everybody who's coming through without the armor. Remains, and Crucify will end his bid for the ace as he walked away very, very weak. So it's 11-8. We're finally back in another gun round for going live, and they learned a hard lesson. They've got the nade. They've got some coordination. They weren't able to hit the same shots they'd like to see that they hit on the other half. Something about this tells me that they're going to have to start implementing some advanced thinking. So when we saw earlier was a 3-2 split, now we have to start seeing something like 2-2s with a far lurker, something that will make Kurt Rambis fan club have to stay honest.
And instead we're seeing a push out to outer, or rush out actually, but it's actually working. They got 3 kills right there, exchanging only 1, but now the CTs are coming in, and you can take it from here.
Well, we've got some kills exchanged. Actually, that's already wrapped up. It's going to be 11-9 by the time we start the next round. Clay, the thing that jumped out at me was they did something very smart that I hadn't thought of. Kurt Rambis fan club had stopped them at every turn when it was a slow play. They said, let's try speed and aggression. Let's see if they hold up and communicate well and rotate well. And they clearly walked away with the victory, proving to themselves that speed might work against them.
Yeah, I mean, well, we did just see that it did work. You saw that I can't remember who it was on the CT side, but whoever was playing the ladder area, the number 7 man, I believe that's Crucify. He ran out of the connector and threw nades towards Terra's connector, and then just kind of looked away, like wasn't even thinking that they would go for the rush. It completely caught these guys off guard.
Crucify finds BDAM trying to come down the ladder through smoke. He couldn't see his location, so he was still searching to find his bearings. Now Crucify's got 2 kills to his name purely because people couldn't necessarily see him easily, making going lives round a non-starter. They didn't even get out of the gates here, but they still have the bomb in their possession. Maybe they make an ultimate play, knowing that their money situation stands right at the precipice of being able to buy, not being able to buy. I think these AKs get saved, but Clay, we've said this before, a minute is so long to hide for.
It is, and I think we're going to see some action here. He picks up one. Can he get the second? Takes him down to 21 health. The nade could finish him off, and it does. So Redman's comes up big there. I was going to say, yeah, you know, a minute is a long time to save. When you have 5 people left alive, you're probably going to send someone to go looking and try to pick up those kills.
Yep, I certainly thought that should be the case, and what we have right now is proof that your diagnosis was pretty spot on. Money situation looking fantastic for the CTs. Money situation looking a little bit precarious for going live. They'll need to win this one and translate some P250 kills into actual cash. Headshot there. Crucified goes down after making the mistake of stepping too far out without cover. He will surrender a weapon if Beatham can charge into the Z connector and not face 3 CTs like he just did. Here comes another. Redmain's wanted to get an early charge. He doesn't get it. It's down to a 2-on-2, and these T's are doing a admirable job. Sparks is at full health. Carl has 3 health, and this eco round win may be an actuality in just a moment. Carl's he's looking the wrong way. Sparks couldn't hit the easy shot. Here comes the exchange, and Sparks finally walks away with it, actually getting dinked. That could have been a disaster. You know what?
How brutal would that have been if he did get that kill right there after missing that spray from the ladder?
I think he would have thrown himself off of a metaphorical bridge. That was so scary because everyone's had that moment, right? You're like, oh, easy kill. You line it up and you miss like 16 shots in a row, and you're like, nobody saw that, right?
Well, in his case, everyone saw it. At least 92 people saw it. So let's. Oh well.
Oh well. Here comes our setup, Clay. That is a very good eco round. And again, what was it that worked? It was speed and aggression. Now, I don't think it's at this level of play, you're not going to get it to work every round, but you keep that card in your back pocket, don't you?
Absolutely. I mean, you got to go with what works, and if that's working for you, I think you know, it's not too terrible. Obviously, like you said, you don't want to do it every round, but you know, you want to test and make sure that they're actually staying on their toes and keep it going quite frequently.
Yeah, so we've got some really, really hefty contributions from single players here, some star contributions, even though everybody's playing well. And playoff teams, everyone will play well. But I want to point out one particular player. If you go to Colin, highlight his name, hit Q, and go to total damage dealt, Clay, look how far above the bell curve he is. Now, granted, he has been wielding it off, but total damage dealt is absurd. Look at that.
Yeah, he is way above everybody else, and like 500 damage above the next person, I believe.
Colin flicks a flash, will go head-to-head with Going Live's natural, and he had him all the way, having seen his toes above him on that ladder. 2 Ts left, and Khaled, this has been a theme, right? When they set up to try to do set pieces or try to do a default push, it's not really a set piece, but a default push, they get caught out of position. They get sort of a non-starter kind of play because they lose people early, and then they lose the leverage to make headway into a bomb site.
Yeah, definitely agree. That's what we've seen so far in this round, and they're doing it once again. And you see, Sparks, goes down right there, and that's going to drop the bomb. And it looks like Goldie is actually AFK in spawn.
Well, that's probably not the way you want to win playoff matches, being AFK, but we'll chalk this round tentatively.
By the way, that flash that Colin flicked in the ladder room, did you see, was that thrown correctly?
No, it dropped for a little bit too long. I know what you mean, bouncing it off the corners to make it detonate as a pop flash, but it was a normal flash, not pop flash.
Okay.
We lost Goldie. I'm wondering if we'll get a pause here. Let's find out in the next couple of seconds. So we have your diagnosis, right? Everybody's playing pretty evenly. In terms of gunplay, both teams seem to be on the same page. The difference is that Going Live seems to be throwing away a couple of rounds because Kurt Rambis is clearly not dealing with speed pushes very well, and they're not really adjusting to it. Going Live, I don't know if they're diagnosing it yet, but they haven't capitalized on it fully yet.
Yeah, they definitely have him. They're trying to go for a speed aggression here coming out the gate on the Seeker round, but with only 4 people, it's not working out. And they kind of actually came out of mid 1 by 1, so it gave some easy kills to Kurt Rambis fan club. But yeah, like you said, you know, when Going Live tries to do their set pieces, they're just giving Kurt Rambis fan club enough time to set up on their spots and, you know, get comfortable. So I think I think they need to realize that the speed is working, and I think they need to start hitting it more until Kurt Rambis fan club catches on and makes the proper adjustments for it.
Well, like you said, being down one doesn't help your case. Natural is going stalker mode. He has a minute to browse the map and be a predator. That could work to his favor. BDAM credits him for being the best last man standing in North America. He does get a kill, so to his credit, his boast rings true thus far. But if he steps out in the Crosby's crosshair, this will not end well.
And he didn't see Carl.
No, he didn't. That's the kill. It's 14-10. We're on to the tie point here, Clay. Do they wrap it up in this round? Do they put their stamp on it this round?
I mean, if they're not going to go for a tie here and get a fifth in here, then yes, I think going live is pretty much rolling over here and giving the win to Kurt Rambis fan club.
All right. Well, hopefully something can happen that the gods of Counter-Strike allow a reconnect and some sort of epic comeback, but it seems like that won't be the case, especially if you come charging out across outer with a P250 hoping for the godsend headshot there, a friendly fire, a love tap shot to the rear and legs for a crossing teammate. That's Colin. 3 left for the T's on a team of only 4. Here comes a rush to the smoke. Crosby is now stuck behind the sandbags trying to reload, still lands a kill somehow, and trades himself out. That's a success considering how badly out of position he got caught. And there's only one left. That's Natural, best LMS apparently, who is about to get victory nated. No, he survived somehow. He has 8 health left. He's on a 1-on-2. Moving to our number 2 man. He's stuck behind the ladder. He's trying to clutch. But Clay, I feel the tie point practically achieved.
Yeah, I think so too. He doesn't have enough health to survive a firefight. If he gets hit by one bullet, he's going to be taken down. And he doesn't even have a head armor here. Well, like that makes a difference with the health. But yeah, bomb is over in the CT's possession. So I mean, unless he comes up with 2 miracle shots here, I don't think it's going to happen.
We had a comment from a viewer saying +1 follower. Thank you very much. For those of you who have never joined us before, this is CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Klops. It's just a pleasure to be back casting with you guys. We'll be doing plenty more, obviously, as the playoffs continue. But if you can't tell by the tone of our voice because we're slightly disappointed right now, it's because this is not ending the way it was billed to. At
well,
one
looks
point,
like I'm going to hit my 16-10 prediction.
How petty of you. At one point, this had the billing of a really good match right there. These are 2 seeds that are very close to each other. They were playing a very tight game, and then suddenly a DC and no pause. It's almost as if Going Live has thrown in the towel.
Yeah, Natural just left the game. They're giving it up right here. I cry for Tang Ping as the last man alive, but you see everyone else is giving out the GG, and Going Live is pretty much conceding here.
All right, well, let's wrap this up. We'll be looking at I Cry for 10 Pings. He will try to do something with this round. It is unlikely that he will, given that this team has given up on this game. Now, this playoff series continues tomorrow on CEVO TV. We've got a great set of matches for you guys, teams that you no doubt recognize. Exertus, Complexity, iBuyPower, you pick. They'll be there. Those epic matchups that you're looking for, the ones where those teams pair up against each other, maybe a little bit deeper in this tournament, surely they will happen, but we are looking forward to them regardless.
Yeah, and I mean, that match right there, it goes to show Going Live had 2 subs, so, I mean, and that's not going to be the last we see them. They're going to go down to the lower bracket now, and I think they'll be able to climb their way out of that. I mean, obviously going up against Kurt Rambis fan club with only... Your camera's not working, by the way. With only...
It is 2 working right now.
It's not showing up for whatever reason.
Let's try this.
There we go.
Okay.
So yeah, going up against a full roster with 3 starters and 2 subs, I mean, coming out with a 16-10 finish after a DC, I think that's a pretty good job. So I think, I wouldn't count them out of the playoffs just yet.
Certainly not. There is a lower bracket to be played through. So after all of our announcements today about Season 4 and signups and following the channel and commercials and advertisements, we stumbled through, but our rust has mostly been shaken off. I think we're maybe a couple hands lengths breadths away from being up to casting form, but it's been a while, and I'm kind of proud that we made it through. Also, very happy that we finally got to cast some playoff games after being in wait for so long. Going Live and Kurt Rambis finally sating our hunger. And I think... Go ahead.
I was going to say that I'm looking at the brackets here. So Kurt Rambis is going to advance, and then Exertus versus Just That Good should be tomorrow. And whoever wins from that match, I'm not gonna lie here. I'm probably gonna say Exertus. They're gonna advance, and then Kurt Rambis versus Exertus. That should be a good rematch here because, like I said, last time they played was on Train, and that match was pretty heated. There's a lot of trash going on between those two teams. A lot of they don't really like each other. We'll just put it that way, I guess. So,
I do agree with that one. I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm glad you pointed that one out,
yeah.
as you always do, because you do it best. I think you should wrap this one up.
Alrighty, guys. So we hope you enjoyed us coming back here for the first time in a while and casting. We know we did, and hopefully we weren't too rusty. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. You guys have been watching CEVO TV. I'm Klops here with Kine. We hope you enjoyed it. And once again, sorry I forgot to say this, but please give us a follow on the channel. Follow our social medias down below on the Twitch page. That would help us out a lot. And also, for future reference, if you're watching, we ask that you turn off ad block because we do have ads now, and it supports the stream, so that helps us out. Other than that, once again, I'm Klops here with Kine. It's good to be back, and we hope you enjoyed the night. So thanks again for watching, and have a good night, everybody.
Bye. That was creepy. Bye.